All right, wake up, Tampa Bay. It is officially hurricane season. We're now 4 days into it. We've been lucky here in the Bay Area when it comes to avoiding major storms for the past few years, but that doesn't mean we shouldn't be prepared. Now, the most dangerous part of a natural disaster, like a hurricane, is storm surge. And it's time to take a look at the devastation and reality of that very thing. Watching scenes like these during the tsunami in Japan made me think of storm surge, that component of hurricanes that is, without a doubt, the most deadly and most feared.
Storm surge comes up a little slower than that, but still does the same kind of damage. We're talking about pushing buildings off foundations, floating cars, ripping out trees. It would be a very chaotic mess.
Dealing with potential chaotic messes is Tom Iovino's job here at the Pinellas County Emergency Operations Center, where things are eerily quiet now.
But we can crank this room up in a hurry if we need to.
Tom pointed out that while everything is in place for Pinellas' potential problems, there is nothing anyone here could do if a storm with significant surge is headed toward our beautiful barrier beaches, which would provide little to no resistance to a force that changes shorelines.
Basically, the storm surge is a dome of water that gets pushed ashore. And in a worst-case scenario, Pinellas County would actually be cut into two islands.
One would be in central St. Pete, where the ground rises up a bit. The other, a little north and west.
Here's the ridge that runs from Seminole, goes through Largo, Clearwater, Dunedin, and up into Palm Harbor.
If you're anywhere else in the county, know your zone, some of which have changed for evacuation purposes.
Storm surge is the #1 threat associated with hurricanes.
Jeff Copeland is the man in charge this storm season in Hillsborough County. On his wall is a reminder of the last worst-case scenario, that hurricane that hit here 90 years ago.
And these numbers here depict the actual storm surge values that were encountered.
So the county has placed some 2.5 dozen signs like this, showing a Cat 3 storm surge approximation, all over areas that would be inundated, just as a warning.
It would be all of our coastal areas along both the Gulf, and the Bay.
Now, of course, those storm surge signs are great everyday reminders, but for a one-time, let's put a really fine point on this example, you've got to get in the water, like here at the Florida Aquarium.
And while most watched from behind the protective glass of this supersized fishbowl, we got a first-hand up and over our head feel for how high that 12 to 14-foot storm surge would be. And it's nothing to take lightly.
No, it is not anything to take lightly. Hey, I want you to remind you about our hurricane guide. You can pick it up at your local Hyundai dealer, or you can download it. In that guide, you're going to find the supplies list, emergency numbers, information on protecting your property and your pets, hurricane tracking maps, and more. Just go to abcactionnews.com/hurricane. And you can join us today for one of our Storm Watch specials. Dennis, Stephanie, Wayne, and Don Germaze, along with me, are going to be here to show you what's new this year that will have you prepared for this upcoming hurricane season.